So I had recently asked for some honest feedback on my business, mainly my Reiki services, from a colleague, and they were kind enough to give me their feedback, so I'm not going to drag them. But the question was, what would be some drawbacks or hesitations to booking a Reiki session, And they went on to talk about their experience with the Christian religion and how they recently left the Christian faith and are practicing spirituality, or were thinking about practicing spirituality, but are now thinking about just like reclaiming time to themselves. All which is fine, right? I responded to them by letting them know that you don't have to have any religious affiliation or any spiritual practice in order to receive Reiki. Reiki is not based in religion, nor is it. Reiki is not spiritual. It is energetic. It is energy healing, and it just has everything to do with your energetic body. So you don't have to be spiritual or religious in order to receive it. Just have to reiterate that. So once I told her that, once I told them that, they responded by saying, thank you, for that. I guess people make assumptions based on things that are not tangible, things that you can't really see or grab or stuff like that. So it led me to ponder about people's perception about energy in general. Whether we like it or not, we all have metaphysical beings. We all have a chi. We all have chakras. We all have meridians. Okay. We all have a metaphysical makeup, and it is working even when you don't see it. You can't see it. It is working even though you can't see it. It functions even though you can't see it, and it impacts your physical body in ways that you may not readily realize. Okay? All in all, you cannot opt out of your energetic body like you can opt out of religion, or you can opt out of spirituality, which is fine. Again, opt out if you want to opt out. But I feel like there's a misunderstanding that you can opt out of energy. You cannot opt out of energy. I ain't never heard nothing like that, and I've mentioned this author in a previous video, but Caroline Myss, in the book of Anatomy of the Spirit, which is a really good book, guys. I know I keep mentioning, but it's a really good book because it just demystifies energy healing in a way that makes it very practical. But there are plenty of times when you may go to a hospital because you don't feel well. There's something, funky going on in your physical body, and you get all these checkups and CAT scans and X-rays and MRIs and all these medications, and nothing works, and the doctor is just struggling trying to figure out what's wrong, when in actuality it's probably some energetic blockage that's happening in your energetic body that is keeping you in a cycle of sickness, in a cycle of dis-ease. So and then even when people get the information that it could be something that is more energetic, having to do with emotional stability and well-being, high pressure situations, identity crisis, all the things, there is a resistance, and it's natural. But those people who resist, they also, their story doesn't usually end well. Because again, you cannot opt out of energy. It's still going to do what it does, whether you want to acknowledge it and be proactive about it, or whether you just want to ignore it and continue on the trajectory that you're on. Either way, it's fine. But I just want to make the message clear that just because you don't feel like energy is important, it doesn't mean that it no longer exists. There are a lot of things that we can, do that to in life. A lot of situations, a lot of circumstances. There's a lot of things that I don't like and that I don't pay any attention to, and it has no holes or authority or place in my reality. But all across the board, if you were born into this earthly plane, you both have a metaphysical body and you have a physical body, and the two are intertwined. The two are intertwined. So it's just a good practice to maintain your energetic body, because in maintaining your energetic body, you can avoid a lot of hefty hospital bills and procedures by just, and I mentioned this in another video, just by staying on top of the quality of your energy field. It's kind of like the fuel line in cars. All the parts in your car can be fine. The engine could be fine, the alternator could be fine, battery could be fine, but if you have dirty fuel going through it, whether it be dirty gas or dirty transmission fluid or dirty power steering fluid, it's going to throw your whole car off. It's going to clog up all of the car parts. They're going to seize, shut down, and the bills to replace car parts, trust me, because I used to live in hoopties. The price to repair and replace a car part is far more expensive than cleaning out the fuel lines and cleaning out your, getting your transmission flushed, or putting some Lucas in your gas tank and, getting that nasty gunk out your fuel lines. It'll make a hoopty drive like a brand new car. Trust me, I've done it. Your energy body is the same thing. It don't matter how many times you work out. I mean, the healthiest people can drop off heart attacks. The skinniest person can have hypertension. So it doesn't matter, like, if you're doing all this external work, if your internal world is off, if the energy that you're feeding your organs, if you're feeding your stomach stress, because that's where you feel stress the most, in your stomach, then you're still going to have digestive issues, even if you're taking probiotics, even if you're, cutting out gluten, if you're, and the list goes on. But if you're like, staying in horrible relationships and feeding yourself like low self-esteem and self-doubt, then you're going to have issues with, reproducing and attracting better quality mates, or wanting better for yourself, or even just like dealing with issues of self-loathing and anxiety and depression. Like, all of those things starts energetically, and it feeds into your body. You're gonna, and again, back to stress. If you're in a job that you hate, if you wake up dreading going there, then you're going to feed your heart all of these, toxic energies that's just going to like close up those arteries and, make your heart work extra harder than it has to, when all you have to do is, one, of course, cleanse your energy, but also make some, life changes. That might mean leave the job, or that might mean, feed your mind something else. If you have to have the job, not everybody is in a position where they can just leave their job, but make sure you're keeping that energy clean. Make sure you're feeding your mind, uplifting thoughts. I am affirmations. I am strong. I can do this. I am powerful. I am courageous. Do the, Deepak Chopra's. Listen to some Satguru. I don't know. Oprah Sunday masterclass, something, in order to make sure that you just have like an energy field that is light, airy, so that you are not making your internal organs or your physical organs, so you're not making your physical organs work harder than they have to. Again, take the advice, don't take the advice. You cannot opt out of energy. Sorry, it's there. You were born with it. You have an energetic field. So take care of it, or don't. But it's there. It's not something you can opt out like religion or spirituality. I just have to reiterate that. I just have to. I don't know why that's one of my spirits to reiterate, but you cannot opt out of energy. That concept is just crazy to me. Because if that was the case, babes, I would have been opt out. If I could opt out of energy, then I would. I wouldn't tolerate nobody's bad attitude. I wouldn't tolerate, there's just so many things that I would just cut out of my life completely if I can opt out of energy. I'd have a regular, I'd be able to make it in the corporate world if I can opt out of energy. I wouldn't have to take on any baggage or any stress or any, high, what do they call it? High pressure environments. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't faze me if I can opt out of energy, but you can't. That's why you see people in these corporate environments quitting or crying about how hard. Let me not be facetious, but crying about how hard it is and how it's so stressful and all those other things, because why? You can't opt out of energy. So take care of your energetic body. It's the best advice I can give you.